We back at it again. It's time to talk Jets. We got a lot to discuss. We're going to get into it. 515-602-9639 is number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Let me get the audio hooked up, and we'll be right back, folks. Hold on.
Blog Talk Radio.
What's going on, folks? It's your boy Long Beach Joe, and we are back at it, back at it, back at it again. I'm back at it again, man. And it is time for a discussion, okay? The Jets have a lot of things going on, and boy, oh boy, is it rough. We're coming off of a loss to the Patriots, man. Just lost to the Patriots 22-17. It was rough. Zach Wilson and his situation was rough, and boy, we have a lot to discuss about that. So again, call in 515-602-9639. That is the number to call in tonight, and we're going to get into it. We also made a trade. We got a lot of things swinging around here. Got a game coming up too, so there's a lot to talk about. So listen, let me go ahead and get into it. I am the man of the people. I am here for the people, okay? Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with you folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. Your boy's also on Twitter as well, okay? At The Long Beach Joe. At The Long Beach Joe is the show's page. All right, go on over there and follow that page. Personal page, YoungJ000. All right, go ahead and follow that as well. I'm also live as well, live on YouTube, okay? Come on over to YouTube. All right, type in Long Beach Joe Jets. Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. That's the page where you can watch the show live. Go ahead and subscribe, hit that notification bell, so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. I know there's a lot of people out there that say they don't know that, and then they find out that, yeah, not only am I live, not only do we do the live radio show as well, Blog Talk Radio / Long Beach Joe Show, but yeah, it's streamed live as well. They say, hey, Joe, you're looking good, man. Didn't know that you look so good. I say, hey, thank you. I'm not an arrogant person. I'm just a guy walking around and trying to make things happen in life. But they say, Joe, you're looking good. You're looking good. We like your voice. We like the way you look. Keep it moving. And I do. So I want to thank y'all for that. And I want to thank you for checking out the show again, Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. Again, subscribe, hit that notification bell, give the videos a thumbs up. So when I post content, you folks will be in the know. We're also on iTunes as well. Go on over to iTunes, The Long Beach Joe Show, The Long Beach Joe Show on iTunes, okay? Go on over there, subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, and give me a rating. Give me a 5-star rating and let me know what you folks feel about this radio show that we do over here. And I want to thank everybody that does that. I truly appreciate everybody that chimes in and let me know how much they enjoy the show. Greatly appreciate that. So now it's time to get into it. We have a lot to discuss, a lot to talk about. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. But before we start talking about the Jets and all the trades and things that are moving on around here, around the league as well, as everyone knows, I'm big on impacting my community. As everyone knows, I enjoy doing whatever I can to help people out. We're now in the month of November, and there's a lot of people out here that are food insecure. A lot of people struggling with trying to find their next meal. And there's many people out there helping, okay? One of the main places that I love to uplift and make sure everyone knows about is the Community Food Bank of New Jersey, okay? For everybody listening, cfbnj.org is where you can check them out. And tonight we're going to have a very special guest to speak to us really quickly about everything that they're doing over there. I would like to welcome Mrs. Renee Halvenstein. She's the Senior Director of special events and community outreach there with the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. She's going to come on and talk to us about everything that they do over there at the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. Renee, I want to thank you for coming on the Long Beach Joe Show tonight. How are you feeling?
Hi, Joe. Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's wonderful. And again, I want to thank you and everyone over there at the Community Food Bank for everything that you folks do to help, the entire community, especially with all the food that you give out and everything. Now, can you please speak to my audience and tell them, because there's a lot of people that have misconceptions about what the Community Food Bank does. What do you say to people that believe that the Community Food Bank is only there for people that are homeless, that you folks are only there to serve the homeless? What do you say to those people?
Thank you. I appreciate that question. It's actually quite a misconception. There are people who are suffering from food insecurity or our neighbors in need, and they live in every city, every county, every town across the state. There's no lines between poverty and affluence when it comes to food insecurity. Many people are just one paycheck away from struggling that far.
Absolutely. And there's many people that don't understand that. And I want to, again, thank you, Renee, for clearing that up. Now, can you fill us in on your Check Out Hunger and Neighbors Helping Neighbors campaigns?
Absolutely. So Check Out Hunger is a program that's been running for over 30 years, and it's running from now through January. It's at many of our major supermarkets and convenience stores in the area. And it's a great way for customers to conveniently give to their local food banks by donating $1, $3, or $5 at the register. Many of the partners also are offering it at self-checkouts now, which is wonderful to have it, moving forward with the technology.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Now,
and then you also asked about...
Go ahead.
Sorry about that, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
You also asked about Neighbors Helping Neighbors. Neighbors Helping Neighbors is our internal name, our program that offers great opportunities for individuals, organizations, businesses to get involved and make a difference and fight against hunger along with us. They can do food drives. They can do fundraising drives. You can engage with your friends, your family, your colleagues. And the opportunity there is really just to be able to, give food, give funds, share your voice because you're sharing the message with so many others. And then you can even create special kits, for the holiday season or for college students or, snacks on the go. So we have all these great tools to help people get involved from a small level to a large level.
Yes. Yes. And again, I want to thank you and everyone over there at the Community Food Bank for all that you do. Now, Renee, my final question for you is, how can my audience get involved? How can they volunteer? How can they donate to Community Food Bank?
Joe, I appreciate that. That's the most important thing. To donate, you can simply visit cfbnj.org. It's the initials for Community Food Bank New Jersey.org. And you can also visit that same site, cfbnj.org/volunteer. Naturally, this time of year is when so many people want to volunteer, so might be a little difficult to get in the next month or two. But in January, we have plenty of spots and still need the help on a daily basis. So we welcome volunteers all the time.
Absolutely, Renee. Listen, Renee, I want to thank you for coming on tonight and spreading awareness and spreading the word about the Community Food Bank with me and giving all of my listeners just the wonderful information you did. Again, I want to thank you for having you on. You have yourself a good night, all right?
Thank you so much, Joe. And JETS, Jets. Let's go.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Salutes to Renee again. Everyone, get involved with cnbfj.org again, okay? It's Community Food Bank of New Jersey, cfbnj.org. Get involved any way that you can, helping the Community Food Bank, spread just everything that they do, all of the things that they do to help people out there. Again, there's a lot of people that are food insecure And like Renee said as well, there's a lot of people that think that it's just about serving the homeless. It is not. It's about giving to people. There's a lot of people out there working that are really looking for their next meal, and they're working every single day, but dealing with a lot of the issues of missing meals. So please get involved in any way that you can. Again, cfbnj.org. Please go there, give, donate, volunteer. Anything you can do is greatly appreciated. So again, I want to thank Renee Halvenstein coming on from the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. Now, as we continue to move along, listen, and we're going to get to these lines again, 515-602-9639, 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in, all right? We're taking all callers, okay? Listen, the New York Jets are coming off of a situation here, and we'll get to the callers in just a second, where there's a bad outing against the Patriots. We lost 22-17. Zach Wilson did not play well in this football game. There was a lot of things going on with him, and we see he was very careless with the football, particularly in the second half. We saw right before the half, though, that we had a chance, man. We really had a chance, and there were some things that went wrong there. Zach Wilson actually coasted back and threw an interception after a turnover on downs. Again, the New York Jets defense was playing phenomenal, all right? Playing phenomenal all throughout the game, honestly. And when Zach Wilson threw that interception, the Patriots actually, were able to capitalize with some points there. But before they kicked the field goal to make it 6-10, we thought we had a situation where we were going to be up 17-3. That's what we thought. And it was because Mac Jones dropped back, throws a pass that gets picked off by Michael Carter. Michael Carter takes it all the way back to the house for a touchdown, and we're thinking, oh, yeah, baby, we got things going. We got things rolling. Ain't wrong, okay? Ain't wrong. Flag comes out, ref looks up, and he says, roughing the passer call on John Franklin Meyer, which completely takes away the interception and the touchdown. Again, the Patriots were able to kick a field goal there, which made it 10-6. That was right before the half. That closed it. The Patriots came out after the half, and they got rolling. I'm not going to lie to you. They really got rolling. They were struggling offensively, especially going into the half. There was a lot of people thinking that they were going to bench Mac Jones because he was playing so poop. Keep in mind, Mac Jones on the day was 24-35, 195 yards, only had a touchdown. And they came out and got rolling in the second half, man. Stevenson immediately had a 35-yard run. He was 16-71 on the day for carries, yardage. The Patriots really did a number on the ground against us. They had 194 yards rushing total. Mac Jones was able to hit Myers for a touchdown, which made the game 13-10. And again, Stevenson, man, he was active all throughout. Again, we talked about that. He's a big weapon. He also had 7 catches for 72 yards against us as well. Now, at that point in the game, we were hoping, hey, we could keep pushing. We could keep moving along. We can keep making things happen. Well, the Jets miss a field goal, and the offense just continued to spiral out of control and struggle. Just continued to struggle. But again, the Jets defense was playing well. It was playing very well. Quinnen Williams was able to get a big sack that stopped a Patriots drive. The Jets defense got 6 sacks as whole on the day, man. There was so much pressure coming from our front. Carl Lawson, again, Quinnen Williams, Rankins, we saw him flying around. Huff was flying around. There's a lot of things moving and shaking out there with this Jets defense. It looked good. But the offense just couldn't get itself together. Couldn't get itself rolling, man. Couldn't do it. Subsequently, the Patriots actually hit 2 more field goals to put them up 19-10. We're still in the game, though. We're still in the game. Things are looking good for us. We're still in the game. It's nothing crazy. We're just down a score and a field goal. We'll be good to go. We get a touchdown and a field goal, we're all right. There's still a lot of time left. And then Zach Wilson came out and did the unthinkable. The unthinkable. He threw 2 of the worst interceptions I've seen in a long time. In a long time. One of them, he's rolling out to his right. Guy's coming. And, the pressure was there. It was a little bit, but he could just throw it away and get out of bounds. Just throw it out of bounds. Make the easy play. Don't cost the football team. Couldn't do it. When he threw the ball, he kept it in bounds. That was a big interception for us. The other interception that he had, again, he's rolling out, and he just threw it into a crowd of Patriots. He just threw it into a crowd of Patriots. Zach Wilson in this game was very careless with the football, particularly in the second half. In the first half, he was actually playing pretty decently. All right, he had gotten a touchdown where he had hit Conklin for a TD. He was hitting Garrett Wilson, who had 6 catches, 115 yards on the day. Earlier in the game, he was looking all right. We were getting things cooking offensively. But things just completely fell apart in the second half. They completely fell apart. And he looked really bad. He melted down after those interceptions, and things just completely fell apart. Again, Zach Wilson on the day was 20 of 41, 355 yards throwing the ball, 2 touchdowns. He had 3 interceptions. He was bad. He was really bad. And I understand that there's people that don't want to see Zach Wilson criticized for some reason. Listen, when I say this, everyone knows, if you listen to my show, you watch any of my videos, I'm a big Zach Wilson guy. I like him a lot. I think he has all the talent in the world. I believe in him. I think that he can be a guy that can lead this franchise for years to come. But he's got to be more careful with the football. He's got to. No one is above criticism. All right? He's coming off of a bad game against the Broncos as well, where we saw that. We saw bad throws. We saw him missing guys that were wide open. He missed guys in this game that were wide open too. He missed Denzel Mims, who was breaking, which could have been a big touchdown for us. He missed Conklin, a guy that was open as well later on in the football game. He was missing guys because he wants to try to light the scoreboard up and throw deep. He's got to stop that. And the coaching staff came out after the game and talked about this, telling him yet again that if he makes the boring throw, if he just does the boring stuff, they'll live with that. He's got to stop that. He's got to clean it up. And again, I'm not calling for the benching of Zach Wilson. That's not what I'm doing. Again, I think he has the talent, but he's got to be much more careful with the football than he was in this game. Continuing on, the Patriots, again, they hit a field goal pretty late as well. Made it 22-10. We did end up scoring a touchdown, but that was very late in the football game, and it was already over. This was a winnable game, a very, very winnable game that the New York Jets should have taken. We should have gotten this one. But because of careless play by our quarterback and the mistakes as well, all right, that John Franklin Myers roughing the passer call, I thought that he might have gotten there right as, in time to not get the call. But again, we've seen this before. In this league, they protect quarterbacks. One of the reasons why they said they even called it on him was they felt like when he did it, Mac Jones has gotten rid of the ball and he was punishing him. He's got to be more careful. And this is not the first time that John Franklin Myers has gotten a roughing the passer call to help extend the opposing team's drives offensively. It's not the first time. We've seen that happen a bunch of times this season. But the quarterback play was bad. Zach Wilson today was bad. And he was the biggest reason why we lost this football game. And I'm not going to lie about that. And again, I love Zach. But you call a spade a spade. He's got to clean things up and get better. And he has all the tools to do it. He has all the tools to do it. He's got the arm. He's got the athletic ability. He's got the mind. But he's got to stop looking for the big shots and learn to just live with small stuff until the big things open up. Throwing interception, especially the way that our defense was playing, our defense is constantly going to keep us in the game. We see it. They're playing unbelievable. Our pass rush is really getting things together. They're moving and shaking out there. We're seeing Carl Lawson perform. We're seeing Quentin Williams perform. We're seeing these guys go out there, Sauce and Reed and all these guys, the way that they're playing. Zach Wilson's got to be better. He's got to be better. Now, keep in mind, Elijah Moore was on the field as well. Elijah Moore was on the field, guys. He had no catches. Nothing. When asked about the chemistry between him and Zach Wilson after the game, we saw Elijah Moore be Elijah Moore. He said, I don't know nothing about the chemistry, man. I don't get the ball. So we still see that he still feels the exact same way. Now, as we continue to move forward, though, and we'll be talking about the game as well. We'll be talking about Zach Wilson tonight. Again, 515-602-9639. That was a tough game to watch because we had it right there. It was our time. And Zach he didn't play well. But I believe that Zach Wilson can bounce back. I believe that he's going to be able to put things together and we're going to get better, but he's got to put his best foot forward. He's got to clean up the mistakes. He cannot be throwing interceptions like that. He just can't. Now, again, there was another move made as well on the Jets roster that was a little surprising, kind of curious here. Streveler, before the game, all right, was called up from the practice squad, put on the active squad. He's on the active roster. There's a lot of talk that he might have some type of involvement in the offense. And then before the game, Flacco and Streveler are made inactive, and Mike White is pushed into the number 2 quarterback spot. That started to raise hairs on a lot of people, especially due to the fact that Zach Wilson played so bad. People said, well, Mike White's the number 2. Could he be being poised to be the starter in case they want to bench Zach Wilson? When Sulla was asked about that, Sulla responded that they're not looking to bench Zach Wilson at all. Unless he gets injured, that's the only reason they're going to not play him. But they did say they wanted to make sure that Mike White was prepared in case Zach Wilson was injured, that he would definitely be the guy playing. Now, again, earlier in the season, we saw Joe Flacco was the backup. Joe Flacco was the guy that got the starts. Joe Flacco was the guy that they put out there when Zach Wilson was dealing with that meniscus injury. So that's a very interesting move by the New York Jets. We're going to be talking about that as well tonight. 515-602-9639. Again, 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We also know that today the trade deadline, all right, said and done here. And there are some moves that have been made. The New York Jets are actually able to make a trade here. They actually traded Jacob Martin and a 2024 fifth rounder to the Denver Broncos for a 2024 fourth rounder. Now, keep in mind, there's some things going on with his contract. Kind of a small downside for the Jets is that he's in the first year of that 3-year, $13.5 million contract. All right. I think it's like $6 million guaranteed on that contract. Okay. Now we save a little cap room now, but next year we're going to get hit with a $2.3 million charge for him, which is, it is what it is there. So the Jets were able to make a move for a guy. And I know there was a lot of people that looked at that situation and went, whoa, Jacob Martin, we're moving on from him. But the New York Jets have depth at the defensive line. We all know that. Quinnen Williams, Sheldon Rankins, Jermaine Johnson, we'll see what's going on. Hopefully he comes back, is going to be able to play in the next game. Carl Lawson, Bryce Huff, Bryce Huff played well yesterday as well, was actually one of the guys that caused an interception that Mac Jones threw. So there's a lot of guys, Vinny Curry, Solomon Thomas. We can go on and on and on about the guys that we have up front in our defensive line. So this was a move that netted us a 2024 fourth round pick, and I think Joe Douglas is going to take that pick and really try to make some things happen. I know there was a lot of people looking for us to move for an offensive lineman, and that was a legitimate thought, but Joe Douglas to this point has not done that. They're banking on Fant and Max Mitchell coming back. A lot of talk about them coming back after the bye from their injuries and then continuing to roll that way. I assume that we're going to address the offensive line position in, either free agency or the draft, which is more than likely the draft because I don't think he wants to give up any draft compensation. There were also trades around the league as well. We're going to get to the lines in just a second. 515-602-9639. Again, 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. The Miami Dolphins were able to get Bradley Chubb and a fifth-round pick from the Denver Broncos in exchange for a 2023 first-round pick and a 2024 fourth-round pick and Chase Edmonds. So the Dolphins get Chubb, We got another pass rusher in the building, or we got another pass rusher in the AFC East. It's a big deal here in that building. The Bears also traded they also made a move for Chase Claypool as well from the Pittsburgh Steelers, gave him a second-round pick. The Vikings also got T.J. Hawkinson. Man, they made a move there, acquired themselves a tight end, gave some picks to the Detroit Lions. The Ravens also made a move as well for Roquan Smith. They got him for a second-round and a fifth-round pick. So there's a lot of moving and shaking around the league. Kadarius Toney going to the Chiefs as well. A lot of things fleshing out before the trade deadline ended. And I want to know tonight, because there was a lot of talk about Elijah Moore and Denzel Mims being on the move before the trade deadline, and that didn't happen as well. I know that there was a lot of Jets fans that were upset about that. Quite a bit of them that were upset about that. So we're going to get to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Again, keep in mind when you call in, make sure your background and your phone's good to go. All right? Make sure you know your area code. All right? So when I call you, you know what's up. Again, salutes to all the savages in the chat. GM. All right, Dark Soldier, all my guys, Venom, everybody in there. All right. Also, keep in mind for new callers calling in tonight, I see we have quite a bit of new callers. There's no cursing on my show. Don't call into my show cursing. I'll get you out of here fast. I'm talking fast. All right. Faster than we got Jamal Adams out of here. Get your ass out of here. Got that boy out of here fast. I'm so happy we got him out of here. So we're going to get to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. First caller I'm going to, 315-315 are coming directly to you. You're looking like a new caller. Give me your name, where you're from, and give me your thoughts about this loss to the Patriots, man. How are you feeling about the play of Zach Wilson?
Hello there.
Hey, how's it going?
On?
Yeah, you're on. Give me your name,
hey,
where you're
First
from.
time caller. I just caught you on the YouTube here.
Okay.
And I've been really diving into YouTube, and there's a lot of really good shows, and yours is one of them.
Oh, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you, my friend. What is your name again?
My name is David.
Okay, David, it's always good to speak to you. David, listen, the Jets are coming off of a loss to the Patriots. Give me your thoughts, man. How do you feel about the way that we played out there? What were your thoughts about Zach Wilson? There's a lot of Jets fans that are just besides themselves about the way that he's been playing.
Well, Joe, I got 2 points. First, the quarterback, and secondly, the defensive mindset. I'll address the quarterback first.
Okay.
The quarterback is unstable. We see his arm. We see he can throw. We see he's good in certain situations when his feet are set right moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
But the quarterback is unstable. Thank God they didn't trade those receivers. They're all highly talented. The only one that hasn't proven anything really is our quarterback. And when I listen to his post game, he was so smug, Joe.
Yeah.
He was aloof, acting like he didn't owe an explanation, acting like it was all a team effort here in this loss, and I'm not really to blame. He should have pointed the finger at his chest and said, "What a disgrace! I can't believe I played like that. I can't believe I threw the ball so recklessly. I'm sorry, Jet fans. You deserve better. Next time, I'll do better. I'll keep my focus."
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel about that. I feel he's talented, Joe, but he's arrogant.
Yeah.
And thank God they put Mike number 2 because he needs to be challenged. He's walking around like I'm untouchable. Yeah. And they just played this guy. Now, he's got the talent. You got to stick with him because they got so much invested. But that can go to his ego and his head, and then he can get into this attitude like, well, maybe I'm just untouchable, and I'm just going to showboat, and I'm going to Hollywood this thing, and I'm going to be reckless until it works out my way.
Yeah.
Because I'm bored if I'm not running around like the showman.
Yeah.
That's what I feel, Joe. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, and David, I'm telling you, you're bringing some heat right now, and that's kind of how I feel as well, because even the coaching staff has come out yet again, and this is something that they talked about last season with Zach, about, listen, just make the boring throws. If throwing the ball away is what you need to do, or just taking the check down, because, again, there were guys on those interceptions, there were guys that were open. They just weren't running deep down the field. There were guys that he could have checked down to, guys that he could have gotten the ball out of his hands quickly and allowed them to do their thing, and he'd pass up on those guys and decide, hey, I'm going to try to make the big play. He said it himself. I'm just trying to go out there, make a play. I just want to make something happen. And that's going to be my question for you is, do you think at some point we're going to be able to get him out of playing with this like gunslinger type of mode or mentality? Do you think that he'll ever truly settle within the offense and start taking that boring stuff? And how much of that is on Mike LaFleur to get him into the mode and comfortability to do those things?
Well, here it is. I would go back to old school, like a Jimmy Johnson and that type of thinking coach, where I'd sit him down one-on-one and I'd say, "Listen, this is your last shot with this show, but you're not Troy Aikman yet. You're not Dan Marino yet. You're not those guys yet. You need to be disciplined. If you're not, we're going to sit you because you need to. No, it's not that we don't believe in you, but we got to have respect for ourselves as a team. You're hurting those other teammates out there." That's their bread and butter.
Yep.
If you're throwing around the ball recklessly, we start losing. All of a sudden, they might be losing their job because the records aren't good.
Yep.
And then the team's got to make more changes to adjust to that pattern of bad playing of football. It affects everybody, Joe.
Yeah. No,
so
listen.
I'd sit them. I'd threaten them, and I'd say, and it goes with the coach. Salah's got to stop yelling so much at the refs start. Now, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but we do know his quarterback was arrogant in that press conference. Where did he get that attitude from? That should have been chiseled out a long time ago.
Yeah. No, listen, I hear you. So, and really quickly, I know you talked about, possibly if you were the coach, you would sit him down and speak with him about sitting him if he doesn't clean it up. So in your mind, if you were the coach, would you put Zach Wilson on a leash? And if so, how many games are you giving him to clean things up before you would decide to sit him?
One. I'm giving them the Bills game.
Wow, okay.
We don't have to win the Bills game, but we got to show up, Joe.
Okay.
We might not beat that team. It's a juggernaut right now.
Okay.
But with the defense is so tight that they can keep the game under, at a winnable score, I think. If the offense is efficient, controls the ball, doesn't turn it over, gets the running game going. They had to make some adjustments. They lost that good running back. That's tough. So they got to get the Carter going again. But that's what they need to do. And secondly, Joe, if I could just make my second point,
go ahead.
I'm Salah and the defensive coordinator. I'm saying to my defense, listen, we need to make a decision here. Are we going to be like a very aggressive defense that is risky, taking penalties and just getting the rep out there in the league? And the refs, they talk, they're people.
Yeah.
So the Jets, I think, are getting a rep that they're kind of, stretching the boundaries, and the refs are looking more under the cookie jar. Yeah. I think they need to sit down and decide what kind of defense they're going to be. And if they're going to play by the rules, they need to stop the unnecessary roughness at all costs, even if it costs a sack.
Yeah.
Because they're good enough to make the adjustments, but they need to come to an understanding about how far are they willing to go.
Yeah.
So I think there's too much of a lean way of be aggressive, and they're not in that critical half-second moment making that decision. I need to light up. I need to back off.
No.
So they need to discuss that, get that defense attitude, because they got the talent. They're monsters out there, man. They can gobble up teams.
Yeah.
They can gobble up, but they got to back off just a little, not be as aggressive. Trust the secondary. We got the boys back there that can make the plays. So put the fear in the offense that we're coming for you, but also let the refs know, hey, we're going to play by the rules, so you don't have to look under the cookie jar and throw flags, these ghost flags.
Yeah.
Like that, he was pulling a fast one, the quarterback, but the refs are going to throw it when they see the quarterback laying down there. Here.
Yeah. No, listen.
So that's my 2 points, Joe.
Yeah.
Adjust the defense mindset. Don't be as aggressive, but yet play strong. And secondly, you got to put a leash on this quarterback. Let him know you ain't Joe Namath yet. We're not giving you the keys to the city.
No, listen, I hear you. Now, before I let you go, we got this Bills game coming up. Give me your score prediction, man. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think this game ends up?
Well, the game's at home, right?
Yes, I believe
at the MetLife, right?
Yeah, I believe.
Which is basically a home game for the Bills because they travel well. So I think it's going to be tight. I think the team is really upset they lost that game. That was a winnable game at the Patriots, and I think they're still focused. We saw signs that this team is an up-and-coming team that can bring it, can do it, can win, and I think it's going to be close. If we don't turn the ball over, we play discipline, get the running game established so that the Bills aren't looking, for the pass all the time, knowing that the Jets are committed to the run, even if we're behind a touchdown or so.
Yeah.
Commit to the run, play action pass, short, medium range, bomb every so often to keep him honest, because he can throw the ball. He can throw 50, 60 yards with some zip.
Mm-hmm.
But don't be reckless.
Yeah.
Got it. And I think here it is. I'm gonna say it. Jets 30, Bills 27.
Ooh, Jets 30, Bills 20. All right, I respect it. I respect
That's
it.
right.
Listen, David, I got other callers.
First call in, Joe. I gotta predict a win, right?
That's what I'm talking about. Listen, David, I gotta slide off. I want to thank you for calling in. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you. All right, my friend. All right. Thank you again for calling in, David. Listen, we're going to keep going to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We are taking all callers. Please keep in mind for all my new callers, when you call in, I can see you're in a queue. I'm absolutely going to get to every single one of y'all. So be patient, okay? Be patient. We'll get to everyone, okay? So again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're going to, we just lost them. 551. I guess we just lost you. Call back in. I wanted to hear from you. Next, we're going to go to my guy, Rusty. We're going to Rusty, man. I want to hear from Rusty. Listen, Rusty, salutes. For those of you that do not know,
Joe.
Hold on, man. For those of you that don't know, Rusty's a savage. Savage! Rusty's a straight savage, man. Listen, Rusty. There's a lot to talk about, man. All right. New York Jets lose to the Patriots. We saw Zach Wilson go out there and just look really careless with the football, threw 3 interceptions, really held us back in this football game. Give me your thoughts about his play in this game, man. How do you feel about him coming out of this Patriots football game?
Salutes to Joe and salutes fellow savages. And about with Zachy Poo, I'm not happy about it, but then also at the same time he's digressing in a bad way, and it's on him, and I think it definitely is on a QB coach. Something has to go with there, and something is going on to the fact that he's not allowed to pass to certain wide receivers. And I noticed it in the past couple of games even more so, especially with what's going on with soon-to-be Jamal 2.0. But because when you see it, he's running around like a chicken with his head cut off, but Mimsy is open. You have more that are open, and I've seen it on not last week, obviously, because he wasn't there, but with Mims being open, and then even with Moore being open, I think they're honestly telling him not to pass it to those two dudes.
But why?
I swear to God.
Why
and
though? Maybe it's not. Hold on a second, Rusty. Listen, hold on, Rusty. I hear your take. But I don't think it's that they're telling him not to pass it to him, because if they didn't want them to even be an option as far as, producing offensively, they wouldn't even have them on the field. I think it's that Zach is missing these guys. But I'm being completely honest. We've seen this multiple times. Yeah. And again, yesterday we saw there were plays when Elijah Moore had a step and was open. He missed them. There were plays when Denzel Mims could have had a touch. If he put that ball that he threw to the sidelines to Denzel Mims, where he threw him out of bounds, if he put that out in front of Denzel Mims, that's a touchdown. Easy. Denzel Mims had that guy beat. And again, Denzel, we've had issues with him and stuff like that, whatever, right? But against the Patriots, if he puts that ball out in front of Denzel Mims, that's a touchdown. I'm sorry. There's nothing stopping Denzel Mims at that point. So I don't think it's that they're telling him not to throw to guys. I think it's that he's just missing guys. He's missing guys. And that's just what it is. We got to be honest about this. Go ahead.
I don't know, Joe, because I hear you, and I'm with you on that too. But it's kind of weird, when obviously it's some guy. People are going to come out and say, I'm not getting targeted, and go that whole route and keep it out of house instead of in house. But I mean, it's pretty noticeable, man. Like as soon as Mims did that in preseason, and they literally kept him out of there, and until you couldn't deny him, because both him and Shrevler were the God Kings of the preseason, and it's just keeping on going. There's something that happens. There really is. I don't know what it is, but we have to definitely get a quarterback coach. That's for certain. Because, I mean, like, rest in peace, Snap. It's so sad and bad. There's something very, very wrong in that quarterback coaching room, because he's not even doing his checkdowns to his running backs out. Like, he had Carter, like, what was it, 3rd and 2?
Yeah.
All he had to do was just dump it. Instead, Judon freaking swaps it. You know, like, why even? And it was right there. Here's what I think it is. Like you're saying too, and like I'm saying too. I don't know. There's something crazy. There's something. It's probably all three. It's all things coming together.
Yeah. Here's what I think it is. And again, we've seen this with Zach before. And again, I love Zach Wilson. I do. I love the big arm. I love that
he's like Favre, and then
exactly that's the problem is that you don't have to be Brett Favre to be successful in this offense. And I think that Zach is so hell bent with launching the football down the field and doing what he was doing in college, which was the reason that a lot of Jets fans fell in love with him. Every scouting report before the draft and all that stuff. Yeah, listen. He's got a rocket arm. He can launch the football down the field.
Yeah, that's
he can do it. We talked about exactly.
Ball. It was the short to intermediate ones. That's what I like.
Exactly. But hold on a second. Here in the NFL, you can't do that stuff. All right. You need to, especially in this offense. In this offense, you hit the guys that are open. You hit the guys that are in space. Jimmy Garoppolo, who's trash, was good in this offense. The Niners pushed and made moves in this exact offense that we're running with Jimmy G. You hit the guys that are open. You get the ball to the guys in space. When it calls for a deep shot, when the defense gives that up, you take it. But trying to constantly force the football down the field when it's not there, I'm sorry, okay? I'm going to call it out just like anybody else should. That's what he's doing. You want to know why? He did the same thing last year, Rusty. The same thing. The coaching staff came out and literally said publicly, look, we've sat him down and told him you need to start making the boring throws because you're killing us trying to do it the other way. Guess what, Rusty? This week, Sulla comes out and literally almost says the exact same thing. I would like to see Zach just make the boring throw. If it's throwing it out of bounds and throwing it away, do it. But running backwards and spinning around like we saw in Denver, like we saw in this game against the Patriots, getting crazy, trying to throw balls where they don't belong, just make the boring throw, dog. We know he got it. We saw it against the Steelers. But you don't have to try to launch the ball downfield because you're missing guys that could get you easy free yardage. Give me your thoughts, Rusty.
That's the thing, though, too. I'm with you, but that was the thing, too. Like, on those boring throws, Mims was open, Moore was open. And it's weird. And, like, especially, too, when he threw it when I think it was Conklin, one of the interceptions. It was just horrible. It was like he was a poppy seed on a freaking salt bagel, and the salt was all Patriots. Yeah. And he threw it like, how is it not going to get intercepted? Then when you look down and like when they had the zoom out where you could actually see the field on the left and on the middle, there was
wide open,
just chilling. Yeah. And it's just like, cool, man. You know, like, hey, what's up, bro? What are you doing? Nah, I'm just waiting for a pass. What about you? Yeah, same here. Cool. Yeah. It's honestly, it seems like somebody was like, look, last resort, throw it to Mims or Moore.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know. And it's something definitely, too, we need a quarterback coach because he can't even do the dink and dunkers. And
it's rough.
I don't know who. It's something. Get someone, and then they should like, if anything, put him in timeout, bench his ass for a game. Sorry, but throw in the Strevmeister. I don't care. At least at least the guy can take us something, and you know he sort of seems like Tim Tebow, but can actually throw it. Yeah, you know.
Now honestly, I'm not for benching Zach Wilson. I want to see what he has. I want to. No, listen. I hear you. I'm not for benching Zach Wilson. I want to see what he's going to bring to the table. And I know the coaching staff has come out and said that they're not going to bench him unless there's an injury. But I need to see him work through this. This is 2 bad games. Again, Broncos was a bad game. This was a bad game. I want to see him step forward and rebound. Now, continuing on with this discussion, Rusty, because let me tell you something. The offense was spotty, but the defense looked phenomenal. Give me your thoughts about the roughing the passer call that John Franklin Myers got. Aren't you just beside yourself constantly seeing this team make those type of mistakes in critical key points of the game?
I wanted to kill him. I wanted to physically reach to the team and strangle him again. They got to do in-house finding, because like say you're coming at and you can't pull off, like you can't pull the parachute or whatever, the eject button.
Mm-hmm.
Just bear hug the dude. You don't have to bring him to the ground. Just bear hug him. That happens all the time. Instead of like shoving him, you know that he's got the ball away. Freaking pull him into you, bring him closer. Give him a little dance action, just so he knows that you're coming and you're there. So it's in his head clock that he's got to release it, and that will throw him off. So you're not getting a rough in the passer. Yeah. You're not getting any of those things. And then if it does go a pick six, suplex his ass after he already has the catch. So then it's a penalty instead of not an erased touchdown and a 10-point swing and.
Yeah. It was wild. It was wild.
Yeah. Other than that, it was awesome.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about the
defense is spectacular.
Yeah, our defense played unbelievably well, and that's why it sucked again to watch us lose to the Patriots, because Mac Jones was awful. But moving forward, what were your thoughts about the Jacob Martin trade and us getting a fourth rounder from that trade?
I love it. That's in 2024, right?
Yeah, 2024, yeah.
Do whatever you got to do. Do whatever you got to do and get to the number one draft pick or close to it so that we can draft Marvin Harrison Jr. as wide receiver and just say, see ya.
All right.
It doesn't matter who's throwing the ball.
Listen.
Oh, man. But, that's what I want.
All right.
I'm cool with it. We have ammo.
Now, my final question.
And then, you have JD doing his work.
Yeah, he has. Yeah. He's been doing his thing. Now, my final question before I let you go, Rusty. Give me your thoughts about this upcoming Bills game. Give me your final score prediction. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think the game ends up?
I can't do that, but I just hope that the Bills take us lightly, because if they do,
come on, Rusty,
they're going to get kicked in the throat.
Give us something.
I can't do it. Last time that I predicted a score was the Bengals, and it didn't turn out too good for us. So I can't do it.
Hold on. Listen, everybody pay attention. Pay attention. Rusty is ducking the final score prediction. That's crazy. Oh, my goodness. Not
jumping
you,
out
Rusty.
of it like that car crash.
Rusty, you have yourself a good night, my friend. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you, all right?
Absolutely. You too, Joe, and salute Savages. Let's go, Jeff.
Salutes, man. Listen, Rusty going to duck the final score prediction? Come on, man. Come on, man. Listen. We're going to keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639. Again, 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. But before we get back to these callers, salutes Curvin Ledger with the big donation, man. I want to say salute to Curvin Ledger with the big donation, man. Mr. Ledger says the blueprint is out. Zach is 15% against pressure. Yeah. There's a lot of talk about the pressure being brought to him and how when you bring pressure to Zach, you stack the box. He's not very successful against that. And this was some of the same things that we saw last season as well. Some of the same things that we saw last season. Salutes to BK Trainer as well with the big donation, man. I said salute to BK Trainer as well with the big donation, man. BK just dropped it in and said, hey, listen, here's the pair character doing the classic mic drop. He's dropping his mic. He said, that call was fire. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, I want to thank everyone for their donations. We'll keep calling them out. Salutes to all the Savages in the chat as well. Jay Johnson, Steel Stone, everybody on in here, Venom G's, Val, everybody. All just talking, going back and forth. We'll come to y'all with any questions, any takes you guys got. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. All right, when you call in, keep in mind, new callers, there's no cursing on my show. I don't allow cursing. I'll get you out of here fast, all right? I'm talking fast. Woo, faster than we got Mike McCagnon out of here. Get your ass out of here. Woo. I am so glad we got Mike McCagnon out of here, boy. Whew, it's a different day and time. So let's get back to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Next, I'm going to go to my guy, BK, man. BK, we're coming directly to you. Steve, 646. Hold on a second. We're going to BK, man. Salutes to you, BK. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Listen, it's time to talk, BK. We've gone back and forth. A lot of people discussing what's going on with Zach Wilson, BK. Listen, man, how are you feeling about him, bro? How are you feeling about his play? What are your thoughts about what you saw from him against the Patriots?
Yeah, man, that was difficult, because the first half, he seemed to be settled in.
Mm-hmm.
He made some plays. And then he went back to this, default that he does, like he did it last year. He starts to run around, and he does not see the field, and he's trying to play like he's at BYU, and that's difficult to do in the NFL. He just for some reason he does that, and I think that what I wanted to see in the second half is them try to establish the run, even if it got a little boring. I didn't care if it got a little boring, even if it got predictable, only because the defense was dictating the game anyway, our defense. So the ball needs to be taken out of his hands, so to speak. That's what I'm basically saying.
Mm-hmm.
So that way he won't have those problems. Because he go into a loose default where he continues to make mistake after mistake, and it's a spiral. And it looks like ugly football. It just looks ugly.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what we saw, those 2 interceptions. And then I feel like he starts to press, and you can almost see it in his body language where it's like, oh, man. I mean, even the first interception that he threw was careless because it was off his back foot. He was flopping back and just kind of whiffed it up there. He's got to learn to be more careful with the football, especially against a team like the Patriots. Right. And this was something that we talked about on the last show because I talked about what we saw in Denver. We saw some of the same things in Denver, except, again, they didn't catch the interception. I remember there was a ball that he threw late, super late, over the middle, and he was scrambling around, running around, threw it real late over the middle, and I was like, if that's against any other team, especially, again, I said, if that's against the Patriots, they'll pick that off. They're going to have guys there. They're going to bracket you. They're going to bring pressure. I said that. And so I think he's got to get He's got to get out of the mindset of, I've got to make a play. I've got to force it. I've got to push it, because the second you do that, you put the team in a bad position, because we saw the Patriots, even though they weren't getting into the end zone, they were kicking field goals. They beat us just kicking field goals constantly. That's how they did it. They beat us just kicking field goals because you gave them solid enough field position where that puts our defense back out there, and they've got to fight and stop. And it's like, come on, man. You've got to clean that up and get that going forward. Now, I know we're talking about Zach Wilson, but there's another guy that we put out there as well, Elijah Moore. He had 0 catches in this game, right? Even after the game, you could hear when they asked him, hey, what's going on with the chemistry between you and Zach? He said he didn't know. He don't get the ball, so it kind of is what it is. There's a lot of talk about him right now. We thought there was a lot of people thinking that he would have got traded before the trade deadline. Are you surprised that he's still here after the trade deadline, him and Mims? But what do you think happens going forward with Elijah Moore? Because he seems to still be hell-bent on getting out of here.
Yeah, I don't know, what to say in terms of, whether he's not leaving, so you got to make the best of his time here now. He's going to get the ball. The thing about it, again, Zach doesn't always see the field. That's one. Okay? We have difficulty on our offensive line. So with that being said, he's not going to get the ball 5, 6, 7 times in games. You may not see that. You may not see that in this game coming up this week. So with that being said, I hope he can kind of keep his composure. Play his best games. Always be ready, because the ball's going to come his way. It's going to come his way because he is a good player. He can beat coverage at times. So the ball is definitely going to come his way. It's just that he has to maintain a focus. Hopefully, whoever in his camp can kind of teach him, listen, the ball's going to come your way. You're with the team right now. Put your best film out there in case he does get traded in the offseason. He now can go somewhere where he probably want to be. But right now, the best thing he can do is come to work, focus, and just try to make plays when the plays come, because they are going to come.
Yeah. That's about all we can do with him right now. I don't know what's going to happen with him going forward. I hope, again, everything can get repaired, but it sounds like from everything that we're hearing that guy does not want to be here, and he's very hell-bent on keeping it that way, in his mind. Now,
he need to shift that. They need to shift because that wanting to be here and all that doesn't even matter. But the truth of the matter is he's very, very young. He's a young player. And so what you want to do is understand that the football is like a fraternity. Like these coaches that are on this team now, they got friends in other teams as well. So don't just put your best character forward when you show up and play as best as you can, practice as best as you can. That's all you need to do. We need to rechange his focus. That is hell bent and all them weird interviews. You need to stop that. That doesn't help him. Yeah. You know, you only have a certain amount of years to play this game, and he's here now. He needs to make the best of it.
Yeah. What were your thoughts about the New York Jets trading Jacob Martin, man?
I thought they would trade him because the way their rotation is going right now, especially when Jermaine Johnson come back, they don't necessarily, Jermaine Johnson can fill that role. They have a lot of other good players, Michael Clemens, of course, Williams is a beast right now, Quentin Williams, that is. Yep. So I think that was smart. That was very smart. He's always doing making power moves, Joe Douglas, that is. So that was smart. Yeah. So I'll put that.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was a solid. And again, you talked about Quentin Williams. Bryce Huff is a guy that, ever since he's been made active, he's a guy that has been providing pressure on pressure on pressure.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
He was involved in that Mac Jones interception. He was the guy that put the pressure on Mac Jones to make that happen. So, and we've seen him all throughout this season so far really be able to go out there and make plays. Now, we got an upcoming game against the Bills. Sure. We got an upcoming game against the Bills, BK. What are your keys to victory for us against the Bills?
Well, first of all, we got to get our special teams in order. Like, it needs to be on point this game. Okay.
You mean you don't like the Braden Mann 22-yard punts? You don't enjoy those? You don't enjoy Zerline missing field goals? That's not cool with you? Come on, BK.
You know what I'm saying?
Live a little, man. Come on, have some fun.
That's the first thing. Because that can't be overcome. Okay, it can't be. It can't. It's just too hard to overcome with our quarterback right now. So if they do that, they could have some success. So the key will be first the special teams. They need to try to get a good return, 20, 30-yard return, 30-plus yard return. That's also will help them to be successful in winning the game. Outside of that, they have to really play a boring football game early. Yeah. Now, they're going to have to score over 20 points to win, but early, play a very boring football game, even if it's predictable. It doesn't matter because what you want to do is you want to be able to be in the game without giving the game away. We're making decisions that are difficult for our quarterback to make at this point in his career. So just have the game plan where it's very basic, very simple early on, and then strategically take your shots down the field.
No, yeah. That could be a solid. Now, my final question for you before I let you go. Give me your final score prediction, man. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think this game ends up?
Well, I'm going to give you the score, based upon me being optimistic, okay? So I'll be honest with you. So I think we can win the game. I really do. So I think we win the game. We could lose it too, but I'm gonna go with the win because I'm a fan. I'm going to be optimistic. So I'm going to say 27 to probably 24 we get the win. And that's only because I really believe Matt LaFleur is going to put together a good game plan, with what he has in terms of the players that's on the team, especially if we get Corey Davis back.
Okay. He took the Jets. Let's go. I respect it. Listen, BK, I got to get to these callers, man. I want to thank you for calling in. You have yourself a good night, all right?
You too, man. Peace.
All right, peace. Listen, BK calling in. We're going to keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Next caller I'm going to as well is my guy, Colin. We're coming directly to Colin, Steve, D, Venom. Hold on a second. All the new callers. We'll get to you in a second. Salutes to you, Colin. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Listen, Colin, there's been a lot of discussion, man. The Jets dealing with what's going on with Zach Wilson. What are your takes about the interceptions that we saw from Zach against the Patriots?
Hey, Joe. Good evening, buddy.
What's going on, my friend?
Good evening to all the savages out there.
Yeah.
All right.
Salutes.
Yeah, it was hard watching that game. It was the game we had to win. We were home. It was the Zach Wilson coming out.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
it was the game he was gonna show everyone that we can win games.
Yeah.
You know, with him winning the games and not the defense and the running game and everything else.
Yeah.
Yes, it was brutal.
Yeah.
Um,
If you were the coach, if you're looking at Zach Wilson and his performance, are you looking to see him? Would you put him on a leash at this point? How many games are you giving him until you're looking to say, look, we got to sit you down, we got to bench you and start Mike White or Joe Flacco or whatever? What kind of leash would you put him on?
Yeah, I'm not gonna. First of all, Zach Wilson was not my guy to begin with, but you know, you have to let the guy develop. You can't put a leash on him and say, hey, you have 1 game, 2 games to get it right.
Okay.
You know, you just have to play him out to the season.
Mm-hmm.
Flacco and Mike White is no better. We're not going to win any much more games with them than you're going to win with Zach Wilson. But you know, Zach Wilson just needs to correct a lot of things. He's doing a lot of things wrong.
Yeah.
In New York media, you know, this is it's difficult when everyone is saying you're the next Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning, and no one is seeing it. You know, and you know, how old is Zach? What is this guy? 22 years old?
Yeah, he's very young,
23?
very young kid.
I don't know.
23,
He's
something
20.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very young kid.
I mean, how many people at 22, you know, is fully matured and, you know, can handle the type of pressure that New York has to offer?
Yeah.
You know, he just needs to correct a couple of things. And LaFleur's got to do a better job of some of the play calling as well. You know, we can't just sit back here and just keep blaming Zach for everything. The running game was where was the running game? You know, Justin Fields, they ran for like 200 something yards a week ago, and we didn't ever have 50 yards rushing if we had that much.
Yeah, I think we had like 51 yards
so,
total.
you know,
51 yards total. The entire game, 51 yards total, Colin.
Yeah,
keep going.
Yeah. So Breece Hall gets hurt, and all of a sudden, you know, Michael Fleur forgets that, you know, you still have other guys that can run the ball as well. And then now you're trying to like expose Zach Wilson by having him make all these plays, like trying to make all these plays to prove a point. You know.
But was he really exposing him though, Colin? Because I'm sorry, but was he really exposing him though, Colin? Because we saw, right? We watched the game and we're seeing that there's guys open. He's missing guys like Denzel Mims that are wide open. Easy check down throws to Michael Carter we saw against the Patriots. He's wide open and he's missing him.
Yeah.
So I understand you're right. The running game should have been more active. Right? Maybe we should have tried to do more on the ground.
Yeah.
But it wasn't happening. We put the ball in Zach's hands. There's guys open. And instead of kind of getting those guys, we're seeing him try to scramble out and launch a football downfield, putting balls where they don't belong. I mean, doesn't that concern you as well? The decision making? That's my big thing.
It does, but like I say, you know, you went away from a recipe that was working. Right? You were running the ball. You were winning games. Zach Wilson was throwing for less than 200 yards, whatever. Who cares? But you were winning, and you went away from that recipe of how you were winning when you just saw what the Bears did running the ball. So, I mean, as far as Zach Wilson, you know, like there was a lot of complaints that Zach Wilson is throwing the ball too hard to guys 10 yards down the field. Right? Now it looks like he's trying to float the ball. And that's not working for him either, because clearly there were some short passes that, you know, he just kind of just tried to like just.
What we saw though, honestly, what we saw was just bad mechanics though, Colin. That's what we saw. We saw bad mechanics. We saw a lot of bad mechanics. That the first interception he threw was off his back foot. The other one that he threw, he kept it in bounds. That was that was a bad interception. The one he threw down the field was in a crowd of Patriots. So I don't think it's like, you know, I don't think it's just, hey, he's trying to know. It's just bad mechanics and him not necessarily looking and finding guys or
Well,
seeing the full field
he wasn't
either.
being
I think
too
that's one of the
clever
big
either
issues.
with his.
Go ahead.
Yeah, he's got to be a little more clever with his decision making. How he, when he needs to throw the ball away. I mean, clearly there were other guys open that he could have thrown like a shorter pass to, and he was trying to force it down the field.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something else going on with the Jets. I mean, you have more on the field, and I don't even think you threw one pass to the guy. Like, what's the point? You're telling me that Mike LaFleur, you can't dial up one play, nothing for Elijah Moore, so, a reverse.
Go ahead.
0 plays.
Talk.
This is a guy last year that was your best receiver.
Yeah.
I don't care what's going on in behind the scenes. Put that shit aside when you get
Watch
on
it. Watch the
field
language.
and
Watch the language. Watch the language. Family show.
Yep. Sorry, Joe. Sorry. Yeah, but put your differences aside and get everyone involved in the game. Yeah. At the end of the day, the goal is to win the game, not to go out there and have a guy running up and down all day, and you spitefully not gonna throw the ball to him.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not gonna win games like that. That's not good for the locker room. It's not good. Period.
Yeah.
For morale or anything.
Yeah. No, listen. I hear
but
you
yeah,
there,
I
Colin.
think,
I
they
hear
all
you.
got to do a better job of coaching and, yeah.
Yeah. No, listen, I hear you. So
Zach's got to do a better job of his decision making.
Yeah, I mean, you're speaking facts. There's things he could have did, like I said as well. I was surprised that Elijah Moore got 0 catches. He, like you said, I thought that there could have been something to get the ball in his hands, but it didn't happen. So my final question before I let you go, Colin, because you've been bringing some heat. We got this Bills game coming up. Give me your score prediction, man. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think this game ends up?
47-10 Bills.
Ooh, 47.
I'm just being realistic at this point.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I haven't seen.
Oh my goodness, God.
I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything, Joe, to say that the Jets can go beat the Bills. I'm sorry.
All right. No, listen, Colin. I wanna thank you for calling in. You have yourself a good night, man. Listen, Colin, he said 47-10 Bills. Woo. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is number. Call in, but before we get to these callers, salutes to my guy Corey Washington with the big donation, man. Again, I want to thank Corey Washington with the big donation, man. Corey says, in reality, I wish Zach Wilson was playing better and he could have epic battles with Josh Allen. Even if we lose, I want to see hard-fought, respectable QB play in him. Wide receivers are open, and he's missing him. Mr. Washington speaking his mind. Salutes with the big donation again, man. Thank you. Savages are talking. All right. We're going to keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Please, wherever you're watching me from, give the video a thumbs up. Give the stream a thumbs up. Also, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Share the stream across your social media with your friends and your family. All right. And again, when you call in, please be patient. We're going to get to everybody. We got callers, baby. All right. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. Next, we're going to my guy, D. We're going directly to D. Steve Venom Newark, we're coming to you in a second. D, salutes to you. I want to thank you for calling in. Listen, D, we've been talking all night about this Jets loss to the Patriots, man. What are your thoughts, man? How are you feeling about Zach Wilson? Is he a guy that, in your mind, is on a leash at this point? Would you want to see Zach Wilson get benched? And if so, how many games are you giving him to step up until you think he should possibly be seeing that bench?
He definitely should be seeing that bench, but it ain't going to happen. What's up, Joe?
What's going on, man? So how many games are you giving him? If you're the New York Jets head coach, how many games are you giving him to step up and clean things up before he's seeing that bench?
If he have another game like he did the other day, as soon as possible.
Mm.
I didn't know Mark Sanchez snuck back in the locker room and just took over because this guy is playing like Mark Sanchez. Nope.
Listen, and I want to be clear.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I want to be clear. I don't want to see Zach Wilson benched at all, but I know that there's a lot of people in the fan base that are screaming for it right now, that are screaming for him to be benched. I don't think he should be benched. I think he should be allowed to go on out there and continue to push and continue to fight. And this is year 2, and we need to figure out everything possible about this guy. So we need to figure things out, but he has to be allowed to go out there and play. And again, the coaching staff has come out and said that they're not going to bench him unless, and it's not a bench, but the only time he's not going to be on the field is unless he's injured. That's the only time he's not going to see the field. But there's a lot of Jets fans calling for him to be benched, you know. So, again, go ahead. Give me your thoughts, man, because, again, he was careless with the football. We saw 3 interceptions. I mean, give us your take on it.
The only difference is, can you imagine, just imagine this. He wasn't playing good when the offensive line was healthy.
Oof, yeah.
He wasn't. I haven't seen a real complete game out of him. He's doing the same thing. Yeah. He's still throwing off his back foot. It's killing me.
Yeah.
It's killing me, and he can't see the field. I never wanted him in the first place. I wanted Justin Fields to begin with. I did not want this guy.
Ooh.
And now I'm seeing exactly what I knew he would be. He's a bum.
Oh, my. Come on.
He's a bum.
Come on, D. Listen, D.
Professional
I hear you.
bum.
D. Listen, I hear you, and I'm gonna be the guy. I'm not gonna look. Zach Wilson's made his mistakes, but we've also seen flashes of greatness from this guy, right? Look, go back and watch that Steelers fourth quarter. That wasn't magical? That was magical. He won us that game single-handedly, okay? He won us that game single-handedly, all right? And up until, this point, we were undefeated with this guy, all right? We had a strong running game. Things aren't working out. I know he's had 2 bad games, the Broncos game, the Patriots game, but I believe that he can bounce back, D. I believe he can bounce back. I know you call him a bum. I get it. But he's got to clean things up. And I will absolutely agree on that with you. Now, moving forward, all right, now we made a trade here, Jacob Martin for a 4th rounder, or Jacob Martin and a 5th rounder for a 4th rounder. What are your thoughts about that move?
I mean, I wish it was a 2023 4th round draft pick. We got to wait 2 years for that pick.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was smart. I mean, we got enough defensive ends as it is.
Mm-hmm.
That move won't hurt us.
Yeah. No, listen.
That move won't hurt us at all. I just feel like Miami getting Bradley Chubb.
Yeah.
Just pushed us further back in the division.
Yeah.
Especially with this offensive line we got.
Yeah. And that's what a lot of people were saying as well. And I spoke about that earlier. A lot of people were saying, okay, yeah, trading Jacob Martin was great, but they were looking to see us make a move for an offensive lineman, and Joe Douglas didn't do that. They're waiting on Fant and Max Mitchell to come back, and that's supposed to be after the bye, so we'll see what happens going forward with those guys. But that's what I'm thinking. And, again, I know people are saying it's a 2024, but you can use that capital to trade, right? Match with the capital that we have in the upcoming draft to trade and possibly make a move. We've seen Joe Douglas package those late round picks to move up. That's how we got Elijah Vera-Tucker. So I understand, all right, but I think we'll be okay. Now, my final question for you, D, because you're cooking right now. We got these Bills coming up, man. Do you think Zach Wilson will be able to bounce back against the Bills? 551, I'll see you. We'll come to you in a second. Do you think that Zach Wilson will be able to clean things up, okay, against these Bills and put out a better performance than we saw against the Patriots?
If I'm going to be honest, no.
Ooh.
And guess who's coming back for their defense? The other starting cornerback will be back this week.
Yeah.
I don't know what LaFleur is doing with Moore, but it's hurting us now because he's wasting talent. We're the only team went out in the off season. We got 2 tight ends. One of them ain't doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. I don't see it, man. He's going to be under pressure all day. They're going to dare him to throw the ball. They're going to go man-to-man all day long, and they're going to blitz him out this stadium.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to do.
Yeah. No, listen, I hear you.
That's what they're gonna do.
I hear you. That's the game plan. That was the game plan last season. To be completely, that was literally the game plan. Stack the box and everything at Zach Wilson and let them figure it out. And teams were successful. We saw the Panthers do it. We saw the Broncos do it. We saw the Patriots do it. That's how you got that jacked up PCL. They did that last year. Everybody did that. All right, but hopefully things will be able to clean up. Now, before I let you go, D, give me your score prediction for the upcoming game against the Bills. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think this game ends up?
I think our defense is going to be on the field all day long until they get tired. I think they'll stop them. I think they'll stop them a few times, but the offense will be doing the LaFleurless offense again and get no points. I see it 35-10.
35-10
Bills.
Jets? Oh, my God. 35-10 Bills. All right. Listen, D, I got to slide off, man. I want to thank you for calling in. Whew.
Yeah.
All right. We'll keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Please, when you call in, I know when new callers are here, please be patient. We'll get to everybody, all right? We got to keep rolling, keep going. We got callers. The lines are hot. Next, we're going to 551. 551, you're looking like a new caller. Give me your name, where you're from, and give me your thoughts about Zach Wilson.
Hey, Joe. It's Rich from Jersey City. How you doing?
What's going on, Rich? It's good to speak to you, my friend. Thank you for calling in. Listen, Zach Wilson looked rough against these Patriots. What are your thoughts about the interceptions, and do you think he'll be able to bounce back from this?
Yeah, I mean, you would hope that he could bounce back. You know, part of the struggles that I think we're seeing here is sometimes as a coach, you got to understand your players' limitations.
Yeah.
And we're not doing them any favors, right? You got to scheme more. You know, the guy he's way too talented, and I'd be frustrated if I was in his position as well. Not a fan of the way he went about things, but again, you know, you have these playmakers, and at times it seems like our coaching staff is just stubborn. You know, they're stuck in their philosophies, and in today's sports philosophy, you got to kind of bend a little bit with the player.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're dealing with a different type of athlete nowadays. You know.
Yeah. And I know, again, Elijah Moore as well, we're seeing that too, where he's out on the field. And, again, we're missing Corey Davis, and you would think that he would get a lot of catches. I know we're coming off of him requesting a trade. He got nothing, and they didn't even find a way to kind of get the football in his hands. No, nothing. And it's just kind of surprising there. I'm hoping that things get cleaned up there, but I was kind of shocked. I mean, at this point, I know the coaching staff came out and said they were never going to trade him. He's always going to be a Jet. But are you surprised that him and Denzel Mims are still here after the trade deadline? Because, I mean, both of those guys seem pretty dead on about wanting to get out of the Jets, facility, not being a Jet anymore.
Yeah, I'm surprised too, but it's tough, right? If you're Douglas, are you taking anything less than a second for Moore? And does Moore even warrant a second in today's NFL with almost zero stats, right, for the year?
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
That's what he's up against, and it's just tough.
Yeah.
If I'm in Douglas's position, I can't let that guy go. He's super talented. Mm-hmm. You got to have a sit down with Salah and Mike LaFleur too. He's not making it easy for this offense, right?
Yeah.
You see it around the league. You got Fields, you got Lawrence. They're all making quick reads. Now, not to say that Lawrence is any better than Zach Wilson right now. They're both struggling, but where are the quick, fast reads? The 1-2 at the most 3-step drop. Get that ball out of your hands first, second read, and that's it. We're not scheming anything open for this guy. Everything is a long pass play, and it's tough for him. And we have to understand that, as the coaching staff has to get this guy in check and just simplify that playbook a bit for him.
Well, I think, if you watch that Patriots game, there were guys that were open, especially there were guys on easy checkdowns that Zach could have hit. I think that Zach focuses far too much on launching the football downfield, especially when one of the interceptions that he threw, he literally just escaped the pocket. There was no one chasing him. He escaped the pocket. The guy started coming after he escaped the pocket for whatever reason, and then he just tried to make something happen. He's forcing balls where they don't belong. If there's a play where if he would have hit Denzel Mims, he was open, Denzel Mims was open, he throws him out of bounds. There's other plays as well where we see Michael Carter open, easy, check down, he could have had it first. He decides to go elsewhere. His decision-making, and I love Zach Wilson, but his decision-making has got to step up, and he's got to stop trying to be the rocket football guy. He's got to stop being that gunslinger mentality guy and take the easy stuff. We saw that last season where there was easy stuff that he would not take, and it would cost us. And we're starting to see him do that again. He starts to push, especially when we get down. He starts to press and feel like he's got to be a hero. He doesn't need to do that. He does not need to do that. And I think that's the biggest issue for us with him going forward. Now, my final question for you, Rich, because you've been bringing some heat. We got these Bills around the corner. What are your 3 keys to victory against them?
You got to run that ball, right? So you got to have a heavy dose of 2 running backs. We got to stop with this, 1 running back, offensive philosophy. Get the 2 backs out there, get the screen game going. You have these guys screaming in on blitzes. You can capitalize on that. And I'm actually predicting the Jets will probably win this game because it's the most Jets thing to do. Is to lose this pack game and somehow beat the Bills.
Give me your final score prediction, Rich. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think the game ends up?
Let's go in a shocker, 21-18 Jets.
Ooh, 21. Okay. Listen, Rich, I want to thank you for calling in. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you, all right?
You got it, Joe. I just want to say one thing real quick. Thank you. I found you during the pandemic, and you're one of the best Jet shows on YouTube. You definitely deserve more love, man.
Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your support, my friend.
You got it.
All right,
Take care.
Going. Listen, we're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is number. Call in, all right? We got to move through. You know what I'm saying? We got questions we got to ask, so, be prepared. 603-603, I'm coming directly to you, all right? You're looking like a new caller. Give me your name, where you're from, and give me your thoughts about this situation here with Elijah Moore. How are you feeling about him having nothing against the Patriots and not being traded before the trade deadline?
Hey, Joe. Love the show. Long-time listener, first-time caller. My name is Gil, calling from New Hampshire here. Love the Jets.
Thank you.
Love Elijah Moore.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome, man. I love the content. I'm always starving for content, and so the Jets YouTube community, you're one of the better guys out there, and I love your show. I love your content. Thank you.
Thank you.
Give
me your thoughts about Elijah Moore, man.
You're welcome, brother.
Yeah.
Elijah Moore, I feel I don't think there's any other way you can look at it. He's selfish. You know what I mean? It's a team game. There are 22 guys out there, 11 on offense. It's a team sport. And I don't know if he's been talking to A.J. Brown or whatever, his buddy, but he hasn't produced. A.J. Brown has produced. Elijah hasn't done anything. Mm-hmm. And so this diva attitude that he has, I know he thinks he's good. I know he is good. He's talented and everything like that. But you got to wait your turn, bro. You know what I mean? You can't just he's on a rookie contract for 4 years.
Yeah.
And I know he wants to get that big first contract. He wants to put his stats to get second contract. And without the ball, you can't do much. But at the same time, he hasn't done anything yet. You know what I mean? I don't understand. He's not working from a position of power.
Yeah.
So hopefully now, I think that the trade deadline's passed. He can't be moved. There's nothing, he has to either play or not. I mean, there's really nothing he can do. He can't be traded now. So I kind of think that's over. Before you hang up on me, I just want to. I know we're beating a dead horse, Zach, but this is going to be the conversation, right? He's our quarterback.
Yeah.
All right. So Zach reminds. I love the Jets, right? I want to like Zach. I want him to succeed more than it. It almost brings me to tears how much I want him to succeed. You can imagine, right?
Yeah.
I want him to be elite, the top of our quarterback. I do, but I really haven't seen anything. He has an amazing arm. The ball comes out like a missile. It is amazing. He does have a wonderful arm. It is fun to watch. He can throw the ball a mile. He throws the ball hard. I mean, that spiral, those tight spirals he throws are beautiful. They are. But you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of those guys that you watch on YouTube that can dunk, right? They do all these highlight films. They jump out the gym. They have these crazy 350 dunks with their legs. But then you put them in a game, and they can't play. They can't hit a jump shot. They can't pass the ball. Don't pass the ball. They don't understand angles. They can't play defense. You know what I mean? And that's what Zach reminds me of. Like his pro day, all those fancy throws, you're like, damn, look at this guy. You're like, he's going left, throwing right. He can throw to the other hash mark. You're like, he looks so wonderful. Then you put him in a game, you're like, what's going on with this dude? He can't play football. You know what I mean?
No, listen, I hear you, Gil. You know, I just think that I think that Zach, again, like you said as well, and you had a lot of great takes. He has the talent. We see it, the arm. He's just his decision making's got to get better. You can't keep pressing and putting the team in bad situations, throwing interceptions. You just throw the ball, but dude, make the boring play. That's a simple thing. Just make the boring play, please. Stop trying to play hero ball. He's got to clean it up. Yeah, guys are wide open, and he's deciding to go elsewhere. So, yeah, it is what it is there. But listen, Gil, before I let you go, because you've been bringing some heat, man. Again, we got a lot of callers. Give me your final score prediction for this upcoming game against the Bills. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think this game ends up?
Man, as much as I want the Jets to win, the Bills are going to beat us up, bro.
Oh, give me your score.
I'm sorry. The Bills are the truth. I'm not going to lie. I hate to admit it, but the Bills are the truth. We're going to get beat up. I don't know what the score is going to be, but they're going to beat us by at least 2 touchdowns.
Give me something, Gil. Give me some type of score here. Don't duck the score. Don't duck the score prediction.
I think we can score. I think we can score about 10 on them, but they're going to be in the 20s or 30s. We're not going to score more than 10 or 15.
All right. 20. Okay,
let's. Right.
He's saying 10 to 30 Bills. I'll take it. Oh man. Listen, Gil, I got to slide off, man. I want to thank you for calling in. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you. And again, I want to thank you for all your support, man.
Thank you, Joe. Take care.
All right, you have a good one. Listen, that basketball analogy was a good one. I know a lot of guys like that. For those of you that don't know, I actually grew up playing basketball, like real basketball. And I knew a lot of guys like that. They could dunk. They could do everything. Couldn't hit a jump shot and couldn't play a lick of damn defense. Jeez Louise. I remember watching a guy, you asked him to play defense, it was like, Olay. He was terrible defensively. Oh. That guy was awful. We're getting back to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639. It's the number to the show. Call in. We're taking callers. We're going to everybody. Learn how to play defense. That's all I'm going to say. Next, we're going to go to my guy, Venom. Venom, we're coming directly to you, Steve, Newark, Rashawn. Other caller, we're coming to you in a second. Salutes to you, Venom. For those of you that do not know, that boy Venom, he's a savage, man. I ain't going to lie. Savage! Venom, you already know what time it is. Zach Wilson playing like trash. Not playing very well against the Patriots. 3 interceptions. Very careless with the football. Give me your thoughts about Zach Wilson, man. How'd you feel about his performance against the Patriots?
Yeah. Oh man, seeing it was horrible, man. This guy here is making a lot of mistakes, like all the callers say. He missed wide open receivers. He runs out the pocket before the line is even collapsing. He just runs out. There's running backs, Ty Johnson's in front of him. He don't ditch it off to him. He has a number of receivers, and I don't think Elijah is more upset with. I think it's more him and Zach, and I don't think it's this offense, man. You remember last year when Zach was playing the first 4 games, this offense looked horrible. We were like, yo, what is this trash we're watching? You put Mike White in, and we see a whole different offense. And I think it's Zach not knowing how to play football. And I saw it on Monday with Ryan Fitzpatrick saying they're coddling him. They're not letting him learn how to play football. He has to understand how to process, and he doesn't know how to process yet. So he's before the line is collapsing, he's running, and that cuts off half of your field. If you're running to the right, you can't make the awesome plays and throw it all the way to the left side of the field. So you only have that tunnel vision to that right side. So you're cutting off half the field, half your plays, half everything. And Zach isn't understanding that. His thing is, I'm trying to make something happen. And the thing is, we've been second in 2, third and 2, and he doesn't even run forward. He runs backwards. Just if you're going to run, at least go for the first down. At least do that. Don't run backwards. It's like he's Allen Iverson. He can shake anybody out, but damn, go try to get a first down, bro.
Oh
do
man,
something.
Venom. Listen,
So
I love
think,
Zach, but watching him run backwards is
you
driving me insane. It's driving me insane.
Yo, Joe,
when I watch him take off and run backwards sometime, and then he spins around. He did it against Denver, and it drove me crazy. He did the same thing against the Patriots. It drives me nuts. Go ahead, finish your take there. Oh,
Joe, just imagine me and
nuts.
you go out. We chilling, we hang out, we everything. We boys, we hanging out. We go throw the ball around to each other. I hang out the whole season with you. Yo, let's lock in. So this year, when we get on the field, we're going to show these boys what we got.
Yeah.
And then when we get on the field, I'm like, yo, bro, we did this before. We did this all summer. What's up? You know, and I think it's Zach. So I would go back to the after the game, like, yo, bro, what's going on? You don't see me? I'm open. Yeah. Even if I'm not open, we know what we practice, bro.
Yeah.
This the NFL. I just need to stretch out, get the ball. Yeah. So I think his frustration is with Zach and Mike LaFleur. His play calling, it doesn't utilize these player skills because we wouldn't see these top dogs being on the bench this long. Yeah. We wouldn't see Elijah not getting the ball this long. If you put Elijah in any other system like Philly, they got the little Smith dude catching all these plays and making people look crazy. Elijah's just that version of him where he's not getting the opportunity. So I understand this frustration, bro.
Yeah.
So
no, listen, Venom.
There's a lot of things in the midst.
Yeah. No, listen, Venom, I hear you. And you're bringing some fire. Listen, my final question for you. We got these Bills coming up, man, and they're a good football team.
Mm-hmm.
Give me, do you think that Zach Wilson will be able to bounce back against them and have a better game? And then give me your final score prediction, man.
Joe, every time we play the Bills, they don't smack us. We hang in there. I think it's going to be an even battle. And that, last year they beat us 13-19. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's going to be that demolishment that everybody thinks about. But I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's probably going to be 28-21 Buffalo. I think they're going to beat us, but we're going to hang in there.
Okay. No, listen, It says 28-21, it is what it is. You didn't pick the Jets, but I respect that. Listen, Venom, I want to thank you for calling in, man. I got to slide off. We got callers.
Joe,
Next time
I got one question.
Go ahead.
One question.
Go ahead.
All right. What do you think about us now making a move for all these players? The Quins, any defensive player where we could have that went for a fifth, went for a fourth, went for a second.
Yeah.
Why don't you think we didn't make a move for one of these players?
Yeah, my whole thing is and I'll let you go after this. And again, this is a great question. My thing is I think that Joe Douglas is focused on. I mean, we've got enough pass rush up front, right? Our pass rush and our front line is stacked to the gills, right? Our secondaries, our defense is good. If anything, I would have wanted to see us trade for an offensive lineman. If anything. If we were going to trade for something, it would be something to help us along the offensive line, and that was pretty much it. And I just don't think that Joe Douglas was in the mood to do that. I don't think he's in the mode to do it. I think he looks at the draft as something that he can utilize to fill positions and maybe even free agency, but we all know he loves his drafts. And you look at a lot of the guys that we got, right, the stars of this football team, guys he's drafted, right? Sauce is a guy that's putting in work, drafted him. Garrett Wilson, who had 6 catches for 115 yards, he's one of the bright spots yesterday. We drafted him. Right, he's got the upcoming passer. Jermaine Johnson's coming back. At some point he's gonna, get rolling. If he turns out to be, we hope he drafted him too. So I think that Joe Douglas looks at the draft as this is what I'm gonna utilize. So and even Elijah Vera Tucker, guy moving around. Guess who drafted him? Joe Douglas. So I think he looks at the draft and everything as something that we're gonna use. And I know people are laughing, but Max Mitchell, Fant, they'll be coming back soon. So I think that that's what he's looking to do. So, Venom, I got to get to the rest of these callers, man.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for calling in, bro. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you, all right?
No problem.
Right. You have a good one. Listen, we're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Next, I'm going to my guy, Steve. Newark, Rashawn. Other caller will come to you in a second. Steve salutes to you. All right. I want to thank you for calling in. Listen, Steve, I hope everything's good with your phone this week, man. We want to hear from you. Give me your thoughts about Zach Wilson, my friend. How are you feeling about his performance?
Hey, Joe. Well, first off, thank you again for having me on your show.
Absolutely.
You
Salutes.
know, listen, I had a lot of confidence going into the game on Sunday against New England. I thought at first that maybe this would be finally the time that we could finally beat the Patriots in a regular season game for the first time since 2015. Everything was looking so good for the Jets in the beginning of the game. But then after when Zach threw his first pick and John Franklin Myers was called for that roughing the passer penalty.
Yep.
And it's even like you can't even touch the quarterback anymore. Like that's just the thing about the NFL that's just not so fun anymore. Like you can't even touch the quarterback. And honestly, I really wish that the referees did pick up that roughing the passer penalty. I'm going to be honest, I thought it was a bad penalty.
Yeah.
And apparently it was announced on Twitter that yesterday that the referees made a mistake with that call. They apparently announced that mistake was a call, and they apologized to the Jets organization for that call. And
well,
honestly,
I know that Mike Pereira had come out.
me.
Yeah, I know that Mike Pereira had come out and said that he needed to or that he thought that the call was right because it looked like John Franklin Myers was looking to punish the quarterback for getting the ball away. So I hear that, and I if they apologize and that's wonderful, but that doesn't help us now. You need to make the right call.
Yeah,
but what blows,
unfortunately, it doesn't.
yeah, and that's not the only. That call. I was like, all right, we've seen that again before from John Franklin Myers hitting guys late, but that call against C.J. Mosley for the helmet to helmet on Mac Jones, that was the one that took me out of my seat because Mac Jones was a runner at that point, and he was the guy that initiated that type of contact with dropping his head and his shoulder into C.J. Mosley. I could not believe they called that on C.J. Mosley, but like you said as well, Steve, those refs, there were some questionable calls there. Now, Steve, Elijah Moore is clearly, a guy that is not interested in being a New York Jet. Are you surprised that we didn't move him or Denzel Mims before the trade deadline?
I gotta be very honest. Like I was a little more shocked that we didn't move Denzel Mims. I knew Elijah Moore was staying. I knew he was going to be staying no matter what happened with the whole thing with this.
Yeah.
But it's just that, Joe. Listen. I'm going to just now talk about Zach for a second. Listen. I love Zach, and I don't think he should be. I don't think he should be benched. But he needs to do better, for future games that we have coming up this season. Listen, if we want to make the playoffs, Zach Wilson cannot make these dumb mistakes.
No.
These mistakes have to end. No more playing hero ball. You got to do the boring calls. Do the boring calls.
Yeah.
Listen, I give Robert Saleh and the coaching staff credit for talking to Zach after the game and telling him that this needs to stop.
Yeah.
Because if this is going to continue like this, Joe, we're going to lose games in the future against teams that we should beat. Listen, I agree. This game against the Patriots was a winnable game. And we're doing everything right in this game. But the reason why we lost was because of Zach.
That's a fact.
That was the main reason why we lost this game on Sunday to New England.
Yeah.
And listen, Mac Jones, I'm going to say this, did not play a good game either. Mac Jones did not play well in this game either.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's just Joe. We can't have Zach do these things in the future for us.
No,
because he is the future of our franchise.
Yeah, so, I mean, you're talking absolute facts there, Steve. He's got to clean it up, and he's got to play better. Now, my final question for you, Steve: give me your final score prediction. Bills, Jets. We got this game coming up. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think this game ends up?
So, okay, Joe, here is my thing about going into this last game. It's our final game before the bye. Joe, I sent this tweet out just yesterday morning about this, yesterday, Monday morning here. I said this: when I saw the Jets schedule come out and when I made my record prediction earlier in the season, I predicted the Jets to be 4-5, 4 wins, 5 losses after the bye. Well, guess what? The good news is that we will be over 500 no matter what happens after this game against Buffalo on Sunday going into the bye. And for the Jets to be over 500, that's a win, okay? Yeah. I say this now that is a W.
Okay, so what is your score prediction for the game against the Bills?
Yeah, but one last thing, Joe, I'll say before I give my score prediction for the game against the Bills. One thing I'm going to be looking forward to this game on Sunday is Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed versus Gabriel Davis and Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, that's going to be quite a matchup.
Watch on Sunday.
Yeah.
So my final score prediction is, Joe, I want the Jets to win and be 6-3. It's just, Joe, Buffalo is just so good right now where they're at right now. And, they're the AFC favorite right now to go to the Super Bowl. My final score prediction is, Joe, I'm going to have to give this win to Buffalo. Oof. I'm going to 27-16 Buffalo.
Oh, my God. What, 20? He took the Bills, man. Oh, man. Steve. Salutes to Steve. Again, I want to thank you for calling in. I think we just lost him. We'll keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. We're getting a little short on time, so give us your takes. Next, we're going to my guy, Newark. Rashawn, the other caller as well. We'll come to you in a second. Salutes, Newark. I want to thank you for calling in, my friend. Hey, we've been talking.
Yeah, what's good, my guy? I've been away for 2 weeks, baby, and I want all the smoke.
Let's go. Listen.
I want all the smoke, man. I'm going to start off with Buffalo right now.
Go ahead. Give me your
all these crybaby Jet fans talking about we going to get shellacked. I'm sick and tired of all these bloggers talking about we going to get shellacked. I'm sick and tired of ESPN talking about we getting shellacked. Here's the thing. Real Jet fans know one thing, my man. We win games we ain't supposed to win. We lose games we supposed to win. We're going to beat Buffalo 27-24. Okay. Greg the leg. Let's get it.
Okay.
Now, the keys to victory.
All right, give me your keys to victory
now,
quickly,
before I
man.
say anything, my brother, every time I come on the show, we win.
Yeah, that's true.
Every time I come on the show, we win.
That's true.
3-0. Brick City Jet fan going to be 3-0, baby. Greg the leg, fourth quarter. Because Buffalo's going to sleep on us. They're going to listen. We're going to blow them out. They're going to walk in the middle. And the fans deserve a win.
Yeah.
We haven't been good at home.
Yeah.
We haven't.
All right.
Zach needs to get his head together.
Yeah.
Zach needs to get his head together. Because, losing to the Pats ticked me off beyond belief. Yeah. Because when you play the Patriots, it's not only you have to beat the Patriots, you have to beat the referees as well. We all know this for 20-plus years.
Talk that talk.
It's no secret.
Talk that talk.
It's no secret. I've been saying since the beginning of the season we're going to split with the Pats. You know what? We lost at home. It is what it is. We're moving on to Buffalo. Yeah. But we're going to beat Buffalo. We're going to ride that momentum in New England, and we're going to smack New England. I guarantee you, Joe Namath. Hashtag that.
All right. Listen, I want to thank you for calling in, Newark.
That.
I want to thank you for calling in, man. This was a phenomenal call from you. You have yourself a good night.
Hey, brother, hey, brother, you too, man. We win. Definitely Victory Tuesday. I'm going to be back on here again. Yes. I guarantee that. You'll be safe, my man.
Same to you. You have a good one. Listen, man. Newark calling in with some fire. I ain't gonna lie to you. He gave us some takes right there. We're gonna keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. We're getting short on time, so we're getting to everybody as fast as possible. Next, we're going to Rashawn. Rashawn, salutes to you. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Listen, my friend, we've been talking all night. Zach Wilson, a lot of issues, right? We got the Bills game coming up. Give me your keys to victory for the New York Jets against the Bills, and do you think Zach Wilson will be able to bounce back and take a step forward, man?
Probably not. I don't see it. Yeah.
So what do you think happens, man? Do you think we'll be able to protect Zach Wilson against the Bills pass rush?
No. I mean, I don't see it because the O-line's banged up, and this is probably one of the better defensive line they played. They dodged a bullet with the Steelers. They didn't have P.J. Watt.
Mm-hmm.
Green Bay is just like a two-man show. Last week, the Patriots just have Judon. That's like the only really threatening one. This team has multiple. Von Miller and Rousseau, excellent pass rushers coming from both sides.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a lot harder now.
Yeah. No, listen, I hear you. So
yeah.
For you, when you look at this situation, I mean, what is your final score prediction? Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think this game ends up?
Probably like 27-16. I think someone said this before.
Mm-hmm. 27-16 who?
Yeah. Bills.
Oh, 27-16 Bills. Oh, wow. That's quite a – all right. Well, he's taking the Bills. That's who Rashawn's taking, man. Listen, I hear you. So you don't think that Zach Wilson bounce back? You think you'll see him go out there and do the exact same stuff, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be hard to fix his flaws. One is when he escapes, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's not – like he doesn't have a plan. I think he's freestyling too much.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's like you're a basketball guy. That's like if you cross someone over and you make them drop, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you miss the jumper. So does that really that's
yeah, that's a good analogy too. You drop a guy and then you don't get the bucket. Well, nice move, but that didn't really do anything. No, listen, I hear you, Rashawn. I hear you. He's got to clean things up, but I got to get back to I got to get back to the rest of these lines, man. Listen, I want to thank you for calling in. You have yourself a good one, all right?
Yep, you too. Take care.
All right. Listen, Rashawn calling in with some fire. We're going to keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Man, these basketball analogies are flying. I like this. All right. We're going to keep it rolling. Next, I think this is my guy, Val. We got a Skype caller here we're going to. Is this Val?
Yes, sir.
Val, look, hold on. For those of y'all, salutes. What's up, Val? For those of y'all that don't know, Val, savage. He's a savage. Listen, Val, we talking, man. Give me your takes quickly. Zach Wilson looking like butt cheeks against the Patriots.
Sam Darnold.
Well, here we go. Here we go. Oh, here we go, man.
Here we go.
Val calling in with the nonsense. All right, like we didn't need to hear. Oh Lord Jesus.
Oh Lord Jesus is a fire.
Come on now, Val. Come on, clean it. Slow down. All right, slow down. All right. Give me your takes quickly about Zach Wilson. Do you think he'll be able to bounce back against the Bills? And what are your thoughts about Elijah Moore, man?
Okay, all right, so real quick, I know you were on rapid fire, but all right, so Zach Wilson, I don't think he's going to beat the Bills. I do believe it's going to be a close game. I'll give you my score later on after the call and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson, man, he has to work on his accuracy, man. Like he tends to how can I say it? Like he tends to get under pressure and then he doesn't know how to handle it. This was my problem of drafting him in the first place, because when I seen the videos on BYU, he's not getting pressure at all. He was just sitting there relaxing. And I was just like, whoa, that's not what he's going to see in the NFL. I'm like, how is this guy going to be the number 2 quarterback coming out of the draft? And we really trust this guy to be the guy. I didn't trust him to be the guy at all. I definitely wanted who's the quarterback for the Chicago Bears?
Justin Fields. It's Justin
Fields. Yes, Justin Fields. That's exactly who I wanted as the quarterback if we didn't get Trevor Lawrence. So yeah, that's who I believe who was going to be the quarterback. And as for Elijah Moore, I just feel like we're not utilizing our talent. I don't feel like we're utilizing our tight ends. I don't feel like we're utilizing some of our wide receivers. Denzel Mims, he's so talented, but we don't give him the opportunity. And now we're singling out Elijah Moore, so I can understand why they're frustrated, because they're talented, but they're not getting utilized at all. We utilize Burials; he's very good when it comes off that sweep and stuff, but we have to change it up. We have to get the tight ends involved. Tight ends are supposed to be the safe blanket and stuff like that for quarterbacks, and I don't feel like we're implementing them at all. So that's killing us. You know.
Yeah, I mean, Conklin had, I think he had 6 catches for 79 yards and a touchdown. But like you said as well, I would like to see C.J. Uzomah be a more part of the offense. I know he's kind of brought in and blocking from time to time as well because of our, the offensive line's kind of up and down. But
running game.
Yeah, the running game and stuff like that. But even in the running game was just, it was nothing against the Patriots. He had 51 yards total rushing against the Patriots. And it was a game that I think we should have tried to run the ball a bit more, but it is what it is there. So you talked about a lot of things that's going on. What are your thoughts about this upcoming game against the Bills? Do you think we'll be able to protect Zach Wilson from the Bills' pass rush? Because they just bring everybody.
Man.
Yeah, they're gonna throw everything in the
man.
Dude. What is it? Rousseau, Von Miller. They got all these guys, man. Whatever. Go ahead, Val.
It's gonna be tough, man. It's definitely gonna be tough. Zach Wilson, I'm gonna say he's gonna be running for his life, and I hope he doesn't run backwards. He needs to run forward. You know what I'm saying? If the box is open, go for that first down. Every time he gets past the offensive line, he ends up throwing it. I'm like, you have the first down right there, and you could just slide. I'm like, oh my God. And then he has sometimes people that are wide open by the first down. He ends up throwing it deep, and then is an interception. I'm like, come on, Zach Wilson. It's killing me, man. Like, this is therapeutic for me. Like, I was just holding it in so long, man. Like, oh man, I really felt like we were gonna win that game against the Patriots because we could have.
Yeah.
If we had Brees Hall and ABT in that game, we would have won the game for sure.
He said, Val killed me.
Man.
He said, I hope he runs backwards, or I hope he runs forward instead of running backwards.
Yeah, Venom G is right about that, man. I'm just like, bro, like, he really does that. He runs 20 yards back and making it hard, and then he ends up getting sacked or even fumbling sometimes. But, it's killing us, man.
Oh, Val, give me your final score prediction, man. Who do you think wins? Who do you think loses? How do you think this game ends up?
I hate to do this, man. I love the Jets. But 17-21. The reason why I got us losing the game is
17-21.
The first and
go
second. Yes, 17-21. I got the Bills winning, Jets 17. And the reason why I got us losing the game because we don't start off fast. We have to start off fast against these good teams.
Yeah.
If we start off fast, we could get these wins.
Yeah.
But we just start off late. And then that's where we have to climb a hill and do these offside kicks and stuff like that. And, it's out of luck. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like we have to get better, man, especially in the first half of the games.
Yeah. He said 17-21
So,
Bills.
and
He took the Bills, guys. Yeah, give it to him.
17-21.
Listen, Val.
I'm wrong.
Listen, Val. I want to thank you for calling in. All right, I got to slide off. We got to close out the show. Next time,
man. Everybody hit that like button, subscribe, man.
Salutes, man. Listen, thank you for your support. You have a good one, my friend.
No problem, man. You too, man. Have a good one.
Yo, Val, Venom. Everybody that called that, you guys killed me. I hope he runs forward instead of running backwards. Oh, that's the quote of the night. I hope he runs forward instead of running backwards. All right, we're getting late in the show here. I'm gonna start to close it out, but before I do, I'm gonna give my final score. I have to give my final score prediction at this point. At this point, I'm looking at it and the Bills' pass rush is ferocious. This is a really good football team. I'm very concerned about that, especially with, again, the jig is up, right? We all know that what they're going to do is they're going to send pressure at us, and then they're going to basically stack the box and beg Zach Wilson to beat them. That's what they're going to do. Our running game has to step up, all right? We've got to run the ball more effectively than we did against the Patriots. And Zach Wilson has got to be better. If you think that, throwing those crazy footballs against the Patriots was cool, let me tell you, you're in for a rude awakening against the Bills because that defense is even better than the Patriots. Of course, they're supposed to have White. There's a lot of talk about him possibly coming back as well this week off of the injury. I know that they also have a safety that is banged up as well at this time, Poyer as well. So he's a little bit banged up as well. I think he's like an elbow injury or something like that. So we'll see as the week continues to play out. But as of right now, I'm going to take the Jets. I'm going to step up. I'm going to take the Jets. I'm going to put my neck out. I'm going to say that the Jets find a way to get this victory and that Zach Wilson rebounds, okay? I'm going to take the Jets to beat the Bills 28-21. 28-21, I'm taking the Jets. All right, listen. All right, get at me. Get at me. As of right now, okay, on this Tuesday night, I am taking the Jets to beat the Bills. Let me know how you feel about that. We're going to close out the show now. Whew, this was a hot one. I'm glad we got to everybody. I know we had a lot of callers. We had to start rapid firing as things moved on. You know, again, I want to thank everybody for calling in. Listen, I'm the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing what you folks think I do here on the Long Beach Joe Show. I'm also on Twitter as well, at The Long Beach Joe, at The Long Beach Joe. All right, is the show's page. You can hit me personally on my own personal page, at YoungJ000, at YoungJ000. You want to troll me? No issues. I will troll you right back. I'm the troll that lives under the bridge, and I will have my Vera Tucker jersey on at all times. At all times. He'll be back next season. You know, better than ever. Left guard, left tackle, right tackle, whatever. All right. Only thing he hadn't played was center. And we all know he could probably play that. If you need an offensive lineman, if you need a good player, just go to USC. All right. Pick one of those Trojans out there. You'll be fine. Fight on. All right. So salutes. We'll be trolling. You can also come on over to my YouTube. All right. Long Beach Joe Jets. Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. Go on over there. Okay. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Like the videos, share the videos, all right? And if you want to troll me, no issues. Get in those comments. Let's go back and forth and we'll troll. And as always, people, when you see me in person, you will see me in person, it is arms out, chest open, free hugs for everyone. Free hugs for everyone. The hugs will cost you absolutely nothing, all right? I want to thank you folks for listening. I want to thank you folks for calling in. I want to thank you folks for taking the time to watch as well. You folks are the absolute best, okay? And without you folks, I'm absolutely nothing. Thank you for taking the times out of your day to interact with me any way that you do. It's greatly appreciated. As well, again, Community Food Bank of New Jersey, CFBNJ.org. Again, CFBNJ.org. Get involved with them any way that you can. We're in the month of November. Help people that are food insecure, all right? So I want to thank you folks for listening. You folks have a good one. Peace. 1 second, folks. All right. Listen, salutes to everybody. And again, I want to thank everybody that called in, everybody that listened, everybody that joined the show as well. I will, as of right now, all right, it's looking like I'm going to do a live watch-along this upcoming Sunday for the game against the Bills. All right, as of right now, it's looking like that's what we're going to do. For those of you that are new, all right, exclamation point links in the chat brings up my link tree. That link tree has the links to all of my social media platforms. It also has all the links to my YouTube pages. Content is coming for those, all right? Schedule's crazy. Still trying to figure things out, okay? So please go over there, follow me across all my social media platforms, and please subscribe to all my YouTube pages. So when I post content, y'all be in the know. We do live radio shows year round. Okay, this number is the number to the show until the foreseeable future, unless I tell you that it's not the number to the show, which, you know, who knows? I don't think that's ever going to happen. All right. So here's the deal. One of the things that a lot of my crafty veterans do is they call in early. Usually my shows are around 7 p.m. Eastern, okay? Again, if you follow me across my social media, I announce it hours before I'm doing a show that I'm going to do one. Also, again, if you turn on my notifications, you subscribe here, turn on my notifications, you'll get notifications when we go live. because you guys see the stream. And you guys will be able to peep the show as well. But, please, you can call in about 5 to 10 minutes before the show actually starts. That's when the lines open up. And that's how you get on the show earlier. Okay? That's what a lot of crafty veterans do. They call in about 5, maybe 10 minutes before the show even starts. And they're on the line. I'll come out. I'll speak about, give maybe 10 minutes, give my takes about whatever subject we're talking about, upcoming games, all that stuff. And then, I go to the lines. Now, again, the only thing that I do not allow on my show is cursing. Don't call into my show cursing or I'll get you out of here. I do not allow that, all right? I give everybody time. For those callers that are new, I work through a queue system. I can see you, okay? I know that there are some fans that believe they should get priority over others. I want to be respectful when I say this. I don't care if you've been a Jets fan for 20 years or 20 seconds. Whenever you call in, that's where I'm going at, all right? As y'all saw tonight, we have people that want to talk, and I want to talk to the people. I want to talk to everybody, all right? I talk to all Jets fans. I have love for all Jets fans, no matter what your take is. Even if I don't agree with it, we'll go back and forth, and we'll have a discussion. I even have people that call in that are not Jets fans, that are just regular football fans. And they call in and we go back and forth, all right? I'm going to give you your time. Now, I can't give everybody like 30 minutes, but I can give you time to have that discussion. Let's go back and forth, and then I got to move on, especially when I have, callers, that want to speak and the lines are getting stacked up. So, again, I respect everybody's time, but keep in mind that I have a queue system, and that's how I work it. I know there's some people that go, I've had discussions. I've been a Jets fan for 40 years. Listen. I respect you. It's not the way it works over here, okay? That's just how it goes, okay? And I respect everybody. And believe me, I'll get to everybody. You just got to be patient, okay? Also, make sure your background is clear and free of noise, all right? If it's all crazy to where I can barely hear you and you're, girl, and then jackhammer's going off because you're calling me from the construction site, listen, go away from the construction site, put the jackhammer down safely, walk away from that construction site and call me when the background's clear, because I want to be able to hear you. I want to allow my audience to be able to hear you so that we can go back and forth and understand your takes. If it sounds crazy, I got to let you go. Okay. I got to let you go. I cannot deal with that. I just can't. Okay. Also, make sure your phone's good. Calling me from a Sesame Street phone that you found in a Home Depot dumpster. There's nothing I could do with that. I need to be able to hear you. Don't call me on speakerphone where it's echoing all crazy and all this stuff. No, okay? I need to be able to hear you and your takes competently, all right? So please clear all that up. Call me from a good line with good, good volume, and let's get it. I want to have this discussion. I don't care what your takes are, okay? Because everybody sees things different ways, and that's why I do this show, so I can connect with everybody. But I need to be able to hear you, and so does my audience. All right? So we do that. We also game on this channel as well from time to time when the schedule allows, for those of y'all that know. So if you see me pop in and I'm playing Street Fighter, I cannot wait for Street Fighter 6. But if you see me playing Street Fighter or Madden or NBA 2K or whatever, we play Outlast and like Resident Evil, all kind of things. We have a lot of fun. Don't be surprised. Step on in with your boy, and join in. We sit down, we talk about life, we talk about the team still sometimes in the comments. I go back and forth in my chat. Like I go back and forth with the Savages. You know what I'm saying? As y'all see, you see this, right? Savages. Okay? There's a reason. Everybody in there, they get down. So, we have a lot of fun doing that too. So I game on this channel as well. And there's other content coming, and we'll get to that too. So please, come on and join in. And if you see that, don't be surprised. All right. So we have a lot of fun doing those things. And again, this is year round. And again, at this point, we will be doing a live watch along. Now, keep in mind, the live watch alongs, the live game reactions. I watch the game with y'all on Sunday. We sit down on the stream. We have a lot of fun. I'll eat, we laugh, we joke, we talk about the game that's happening. And then directly after the game, we do a live radio show to talk about what we just saw. Okay. Sometimes those can get tough. Don't call into that show cursing either. All right. It's a family show. Okay. But, yeah, so that's what we do there. And everybody sees it. I set it up. I let y'all know when the lines is open, and we go right to it, okay? Directly after the game. That's how I work. So we have a lot of fun doing that as well if you're new. So let me go ahead and go because I got to get out of here. Listen, Jay Johnson, salutes to you. Val, salutes to you as well. Listen, I hope he runs forward instead of running backwards. Salutes to Val. Salutes to everybody that just came on by. Venom G's. Good to speak to you as well. Thank you for calling in and, coming on by. Salutes to NY Jets FL. Always good to see you in here, my friend. Double water break. That was really funny. Salutes to you, NY Jets FL. Salutes to BK. Always good to see you in here as well. Corey, always good to see you in here too. And again, thank you for giving to the platform, Corey. I greatly appreciate you. Salutes to Curvin as well. Thank you as well for giving to the platform. I appreciate you too. Steel Stone. Thank you, GM. It's always good to see you in here as well. GM, always good to see you in here in the chat. Salutes to BK as well. I want to thank him as well again for giving to the platform as well as calling in. It was always good to see you. Sco, salutes. Jets Mess, salutes to you as well. Everybody just came on by, man, and just said, what's up to your boy or slid in. How about them Jets? Good to see you in here as well. Christopher Phillips, Dark Soldier, always good to see you in here too. So salutes to everybody, man, that just came on by. All the people that gave to the platform tonight as well. Thank you. It's greatly appreciated. I really appreciate those things, and we'll keep it rolling. So again, at this point, I am going to be watching the game and doing a live reaction with y'all Sunday. Okay, at this point, and if anything changes, I'll let y'all know. But that's what we're looking like at this point. So things are gonna go well. So I gotta get out of here because the schedule's crazy. Listen, folks. Be safe, okay? Be safe. The world is getting crazy, man, okay? The world is getting crazy. Also, rest in peace to Takeoff. It sucks to see him lose his life. Again, rest in peace, and my thoughts and prayers are with him and his family. Man, condolences to all his friends and family as well, to his group as well. It sucks to see him lose his life in that manner. But, again, the world is getting crazy, man. It really, really is. Please be safe. Sit down with your friends, your family. Eat some good food. Watch some good TV. Make those moments, man. Those moments that matter with the people that you love the most. Let the people that you love the most know that you love them, all right? That's really big to me in my life, and I hope that it's huge to you in your life as well. So, again, I want to thank everybody for joining me. I'm going to get on out of here. Look, again, Sunday, it's looking like I'm going to be able to watch the game with y'all. So please, keep a lookout on my social medias. I'll tweet that out, make sure, for sure. But as of right now, it's looking like we're going to be watching the game together. So I'm going to get on out of here, folks. You